Hey, how's it going, class? So today our assignment is going to be SWBST, and I'm not sure if a lot of you guys are familiar with that. It is actually just really about writing summaries, and it's an easy way for you to remember like what's important to include in the summary, especially when we're talking about like fake stories or fiction writing, right? Like a short story like the one you guys read on All Summer in a Day. So over here we have SWBST, and they each stand for something. I'm also going to include a couple other YouTube videos that also help with understanding what that is. But I'm going to do my own one with you guys first on writing a summary. And the first summary I'm going to do is this one right here, which is Aladdin, right? A lot of us know the story Aladdin or the movie Aladdin. They had the real live action one that came out recently. And I told you guys I'd bring my guitar out every now and then, so I'm going to bust it out and see how this goes. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride. Sing with me, everybody. A whole new world, new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. Whole new world. All the ladies, come on. No, I'm just kidding. I'll stop right there. I had to put my guitar away. So that's the extent of my guitar playing right there. So what we're doing here for SWBST, it means we're going to summarize. And for the S, the first letter here, is somebody. So somebody wanted, but so then. That's how it is. Somebody wanted, but so then. So who's our somebody in the story Aladdin? Well, the main character is kind of like what the movie's titled under, right? So it's Aladdin. And normally, like, I don't want you guys just writing a one name here. I want you guys to give me tell me Aladdin, then something about him. So we know Aladdin, he's what? He starts off pretty poor, right? He's a poor dude that lives in Agrabah. So that's what I'm gonna write here. Aladdin, a young poor man that lived in Agrabah. That's who my who is, right? Or somebody. So who's the main character? Aladdin, and he's a young poor man that lives in Agrabah. And what did he want? So what did he want in this story? So if you guys remember Aladdin, he's in the marketplace. He sees Jasmine. He kind of falls in love with her. Obviously, he's running away from the I don't even know what you would call them, like the guards, because he's stealing food. So he wants money. He wants food. He wants to not have to worry about that kind of stuff. He also wants to impress Jasmine, right? So he wanted to not have to worry about money or food anymore and impress a girl he met in the marketplace, which is Jasmine. I could have given you a little more detail there if I wanted to as well. Now, so what was the problem? The problem is oops, I clicked too fast. But the problem is that he was sent to jail, right? He got tricked by Jafar, the king's advisor, into stealing a magic lamp from the Cave of Wonder, and Jafar's plan was to become king. So those are all kind of problems that we ran into. Luckily, in a short story, like I'm putting a movie into just these 5 little points right here. A whole movie, which is almost 2 hours long, right? We're talking about for All Summer in a Day. It's just going to be that short story. So luckily, you guys will have a lot less like plot points and big things that happen in the story. So this should be a little bit easier to fill out for you guys because it's just a small short story. But he was sent to jail and tricked by Jafar, the king's advisor, into stealing a magic lamp from the Cave of Wonder. So this is the problem, right? He was in jail, and Jafar wanted to become king, kind of wanted to trick his way into becoming king. Now, how did Aladdin solve the problem? Well, we know he went there. He was tricked into going and finding whatever. Abu ends up grabbing something, and then they have to flee out of there, right? But he ends up with the magic lamp, right? And with the magic lamp, he decides to become a prince, right? He makes a genie, I want to be a prince. And the genie turns him into a prince, and that's kind of how he solves the problem. He becomes a prince so he can kind of have Jasmine fall in love with him. So he used the magic lamp, which had a magic genie in it, that granted him 3 wishes, right? Which he used to turn himself into a prince to win Jasmine's heart. So that's how he's solving his problem. He wants to fall in love with Jasmine. And then what happens? It's kind of like, how does the story end? Well, again, this is a large story, so your ending is going to be a lot easier to fill out because it just has one small thing that happened. Over here, we know that he ends up fighting Jafar, who stole the lamp, and tricked him into defeating himself. And then Aladdin revealed that he was not a prince after all, but Jasmine still loves him regardless, and they end up together. Happy ending, right? Like any Disney story. So what's the point of this? So we have these 5 small points, and I basically told you a whole 2-hour movie, okay, an hour and a half, in just like 5, this is 1 sentence, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in 7 sentences, I basically told you the whole story. Obviously, I missed out some stuff, but I'm just focusing on the important things. That's what summary writing is. We're not going to give details on everything that happens in the movie, because then I'm basically writing a book. That's not what we're doing for summaries. Summaries, we're just writing a short, just talking about what the main parts of the movie were, or the story. In your guys' case, you're going to do it for All Summer in a Day, which is just a short story, right? So, and the point of this is it kind of gives you, it helps you write your summary in the end. So my summary, I basically just included everything I just wrote, right? In the movie Aladdin, this is something I added. In the movie Aladdin, in your summary, you're going to write in the short story All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury, because that's your author. Then you're going to tell me who the S, which is somebody. So who's your somebody? Mine was Aladdin. We meet Aladdin, a poor man that lived in Agrabah. That's my first sentence, right? I also added one more sentence here. He was kind-hearted and struggling for food. So I just added one small detail in there just to make it a little bit longer so we can get a little bit more info on who he is. Now my wanted was he wanted to not have to worry about money or food. So that's my next thing. Aladdin met a girl, Jasmine, in the marketplace and fell in love with her. He wanted to be rich so that he didn't have to worry about food or money anymore, and wanted to impress Jasmine. So that was my wanted, right? The next thing was my but. So what's my problem? I put it right here. Next, he was sent to jail and tricked by Jafar, the king's advisor, into stealing the magic lamp from the Cave of Wonder. Jafar's plan was to become king. And then so he used the magic lamp. So here we go. Aladdin used the magic lamp on himself to become prince to try to win Jasmine's heart. He won her heart, but Jafar stole the lamp and tried to become king. Aladdin had to fight Jafar, who stole the lamp and tricked him into defeating himself. Aladdin revealed that he was not a prince after all, and Jasmine loved him regardless. So all I basically did was I took this and I expanded on it just a little bit, right? I took basically this sentence and I wrote one more sentence, giving a little bit more detail about Aladdin. I took this sentence and then maybe I added one more sentence about how he fell in love with Jasmine right away. I took this sentence, I left it as is because it was pretty, it was pretty straightforward already. Same here. So you kind of feel where you want to add a sentence and where you don't. If you're putting one word here for each of these, it's going to be, it's a good guide for you to figure out where your summary is going to be. But it's, if you write a sentence or more here, it's going to be easier to write your summary at the end. So now you guys are going to do it here for the story, All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury. Somebody who is the main character. So I know you guys all know it's Margot, right? Margot's our main character. And what does she want? That should be pretty easy to figure out. What does she want? It's raining on Venus for, 7 years at a time. And she wants something, right? She wants to see the sun. So that's your wanted. We already got our somebody and a wanted. Now, Margot, our somebody, what details do we know about her? Margot, is she an older woman? Is she an old lady? Is she young? Tell me. A young student who lives on the planet Venus. So that's how you would do your somebody, right? You give me the name and just a little bit about them. And then what does she want? You're going to tell me she wants to see the sun because it's been 7 years or 5 years since the last time she saw it, right? And the sun doesn't come out on Venus. But what was the problem? So I'm going to leave you guys off there. I kind of gave you the first two if you wanted to use what I said. But let's see what you guys think for what was the problem of the story. How did she solve the problem, if it was even solved? And notice it usually says, how did the character try to solve the problem? Because they don't always get to solve the problem, right? And in this case, she probably doesn't get to solve the problem, right? Not the way she wanted to, at least. And then what's the resolution of the problem? So how does the story end? So that's what you're doing. Fill this guy out. Afterwards, you are going to write a summary, but I'm going to have it on a separate document. So that's easier for me to... I don't want you guys typing in here because it gets a little confusing. I'd rather you guys type on the Google Docs. It's easier for me to grade. Essentially is why I want it that way. And it's easier for you guys to type and check your mistakes and stuff like that, formatting, all that fun stuff. So let me show you guys what that's going to look like, okay? One sec. So your document's going to be attached to this assignment as well. And this is going to be due Thursday, not tomorrow. Or actually Thursday night, like Friday morning. I know you guys don't have school Friday, so I wanted to give you Wednesday and Thursday to finish writing this. This is kind of one of your bigger grades for the week. It's just writing your summary. So make sure you guys check for spelling mistakes, add periods, use spell check if you don't know how to do that. I can show you that right now. But the first thing you can do is go over here, write your name. So my name is Daniel Farina, so I'm going to write Daniel Farina. Period. Let's say I'm in period 2. And then I already put a title in there for you, All Summer in a Day Summary. Actually, you know what? I should put quotes here because this is a short story. And then type here. It says delete this before typing. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to start typing. I can just backspace and start typing. So I want all of yours to start with in the short story, because this is a short story, right? And you're going to put comma quotation, all summer in a day by, and who's it by? Ray Bradbury, right? And then we meet a girl named, and then there you go. You guys can start, what is this? Thank you. You guys can start your summary and start going. I'm taking this off because I want you guys to do it on your own and get used to writing that. Because you always got to tell us what you're talking about in the short story, All Summer in a Day. You can't just say, there's a girl named Margot, because I don't know what you're talking about. You have to tell me, in the short story, All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury, because then it gives me, the reader, a chance to know what you're talking about. If you just start, talking about the story, I might not know what you're talking about. So that's how you're going to start it. In the short story, All Summer in a Day by Ray Bradbury, we meet a girl named Margot. Or, we get introduced to a girl named Margot, or there's a girl named Margot. However you want to start it is fine. This part you should include to get the full points. Okay, so that is your summary assignment, the SWBST, the worksheet, and the summary that I want you guys to do for Wednesday. Again, this summary part that you're going to type out, basically copying what you wrote for the SWBST worksheet. This part is due Friday. I want the other part due before that, just in case, so I can see if I need to help you guys before you start writing your summary. But you have Wednesday and Thursday to write this out. All right. You still need to log in Thursday because I still have a couple things for you to do. But yeah, that is it. This is the big one for the week. Okay. All right. Mr. Farina's out. Hope you enjoyed the song. I know it was pretty cheesy. And have a good one, guys. Make sure to email or leave a comment or send a something. Just get a hold of me to let me know you are confused, and I will do my best to help you guys. All right. Have a good one.